Hi everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to lesson number 8 of the 1000 English Collocations course. I am teacher Natalia Harchek, and today we are going to talk about movies and books. Before we start this lesson, I would like to ask you to speed up this video if you are an advanced student, and if you are basic or intermediate student and you are having a hard time understanding me, you can slow down the video. I am super excited about this lesson because there's so much good vocabulary here, and maybe the lesson will be a little bit long, but I promise it will be worth it. Okay, so stick with me. Our first exercise will be about storytelling. So look at the pictures on the screen right now and try to imagine what's happening here. Can you tell yourself a story? I would like you to pause the video for a minute and do that. Tell yourself out loud, what's happening here? All right, you're back. So let's take a look now at the story I have here on the screen. But as usual, I would like you to try to test yourself by asking yourself how much you understand from the text. And if possible, close your eyes as I read, because this will be a little more challenging for you. Okay? So are you ready? Okay. Listen. My brother is a huge fan of movies. When he sees a movie trailer, he counts down the days until the movie comes out. He always goes to the movie theater on opening night. He also loves to analyze the film critics' reviews and tries to guess which movies will be nominated for an award. One of his favorite movie stars will be starring in an upcoming movie about the Vietnam War. It's based on a true story, and they are shooting the film on site in Vietnam. This particular actor had been talking about retiring, but when he was offered the leading role in a film that's sure to be a box office hit, he couldn't turn it down. I, on the other hand, prefer books. I am currently engrossed in a book by Stieg Larsson. It's the final part of a trilogy, and I can't wait to see how things turn out for the main character. I already have a huge collection of books, and I also borrow books from the library. One book I took out last week deals with modern feminism and motherhood. It's a bit of a controversial topic, but it's an interesting and enjoyable read. I'm not sure I'll have time to finish it before I have to return the book to the library. Maybe I'll renew it for another week. Note, we talk about the beginning and end of a book or film, not the start and finish. The first and last parts of a story can also be called the opening and closing scenes in a movie, or the opening and closing chapters in a book. Okay, so how did you do? So for test 1, I would like you to ask yourself, what was my level of listening comprehension? Okay, so on a scale from 0 to 100, how much did you understand from the text? And then ask yourself, what was my reading level? Okay, so what was my level of reading comprehension? And when you do that, you basically analyze how much you know before we look at the other parts of the lesson. Because some people are like, oh my God, I don't understand much. It's okay. That's why I'm here to help you. And the second part of this lesson will cover the meaning and form of this text. Okay? So let's go to the second part of the lesson. Here we are. Lesson 8, movies and books, meaning and form. So if you ever wonder what the word form means, this means focus on the writing. So how do I spell certain words? Okay, because that is also something important for you to learn when you see this kind of lessons. Okay, so let's see. Let's take a look at the meaning of each word. A huge fan. So someone who admires or supports someone or something. So, for example, I am a huge fan of Guns N' Roses. I love this band. So, if I have an opportunity to listen to a new song, I don't think they have any new songs, but go to a concert, I'll do it because I'm a huge fan. Okay? Movie trailer. It's also called a preview. So it's a little bit of a spoiler. That's a very common word in the context of movies. So they give you a little bit of the story before you go to the movie theater, before you watch it, because you want to know what's going to happen, right? So that's called the movie trailer. The verb to come out is actually a phrasal verb, and it means to be released or to be shown at the movie theater for the first time. For instance, last week I went to the movie theater to watch Bob Marley One Love. So the movie came out, the movie was released 2 weeks ago. Okay, I wasn't there on opening night. So opening night is the first day a movie, show, concert, or performance is open to the public. I wasn't there for that, but it's okay. I still made it. Okay. Film critics' reviews. The evaluations of the people whose job is to analyze movies. Okay, so if somebody writes a review about a movie, they will give the public their honest opinion. Okay, sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing, depending on the movie. Okay, to be nominated for an award. Okay, let me tell you about the word award first. So the word award is basically a prize, something that you get when you need to be acknowledged, recognized, considered because of something extraordinary, something incredible you did, outstanding. Okay, you did, like the Oscar, Grammy for music. Okay, so the Oscar is the perfect example of an award. Okay, so to be nominated for an award means to be considered to receive an award. Okay, in this case, I use the word Oscar because of the context. Okay, so let's see. To count down. To count down is to basically count this way. For example, 10, 9, 8. Okay, so if you are counting down the days until a movie comes out, you are very excited, you're anxious, you're counting the days, you're counting down the days, because you want to see that movie, okay? To analyze, to examine, to evaluate, to investigate, to guess, to estimate, to predict, or to speculate. For example, if I ask you, what do you think about this actor, this particular actor? I guess he is a good actor, but I don't know much about him. It's like, I think. So it's basically like, I think, but you speculate, you can't affirm, you cannot say, I know about this actor, I don't know him very well, I don't know his work very well, so I guess he's okay. All right, you're giving somebody an opinion about something. All right, and let's take a look at some pictures here before we go back to the text. Movies in the theater. Okay, so when we say a movie is in the theater, it means that you will you are going to be able to see like a poster outside the movie theater to show you what's playing. Okay, so if a movie is in the theater, it's on the big screen, it's playing. This is a movie theater or cinema. Some people also refer to a movie theater as the movies. So it depends on where you are when you use this word. Here in Pennsylvania, we often use the word movie theater. Okay? And this is an Oscar award. All right, so let's take a look at the text to see if you can understand everything at this point. My brother is a huge fan of movies. When he sees a movie trailer, he counts down the days until the movie comes out. He always goes to the movie theater on opening night. He also loves to analyze the film critics' reviews and tries to guess which movies will be nominated for an award. So let's see the second part. Okay, movie stars. Famous actors and actresses. We normally use the word actor to refer to a man and actress to refer to a woman. Okay, for instance, Brad Pitt is an actor. Angelina Jolie is an actress. Okay, so starring. The verb to star means to act as one of the main characters in a movie. So think about the word movie star, right? And then we have a verb to star. So if somebody is starring in a movie, it means that the person is the main character. All right? Upcoming film, a movie that is scheduled to be released in the near future. So when I was at the movie theater the other day, I arrived a little bit early because I wanted to see all the movie trailers for the upcoming films, for all the future films. And something that you need to know about that, whenever there is an upcoming film and you see the movie trailer on the screen, they normally put on the screen something like this: coming out soon or coming soon. Coming soon. It means that the movie will be released in a few weeks or months. Okay? Based on a true story. A film that is inspired by or that shows real life events. So this means that it's not fictional. It's actually a story that was true or maybe inspired by something that was true. Let me see. Shooting the film on site. Okay, so if a movie is shot, by the way, the past tense of the verb to shoot is shot. You may be wondering, shoot, but isn't shoot like when people use a gun to try to kill people or kill an animal or something like that? Yes. To shoot has more than one meaning. Okay, so that's the primary meaning people know about. And then we have the verb to shoot to refer to recording something. Okay, shoot a film. And on-site means that, for instance, I'll give you an example of a TV show, actually a sitcom, Friends. If you have watched Friends, you know that the characters are supposed to be in New York City. Okay, so they usually show images of different places in New York City. However, the sitcom wasn't shot on site. It was actually shot in a studio in California. Okay, it means that they shot the scenes in a different place other than New York City. Does it make sense? It was not on site. It wasn't in New York City. Okay, leading role, the most important part in a movie. Okay, so I'm going to use the movie Titanic as an example. Who had the leading roles in the movie Titanic? Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. I think that's what her name is. So anyway, they had the most important roles, the most important parts in that movie. Okay? A box office hit. First of all, you need to understand what a box office is. I have a picture here of a box office. Look, I have a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate. They are so he's an actor and she's an actress. Here's a picture of someone shooting a movie, a cameraman shooting a movie. In this case, shoot here is a verb. And The box office is the place where you buy your ticket, okay, to go into the movies. And so let's go back to this expression here, a box office hit. So the word hit means success, okay? So if a movie is a box office hit, it means that the box office sells all the tickets they have to people who are interested in watching the movie, okay? So they sell out. That's a phrasal verb that is used to talk about the situation when all the tickets are sold. The movie is sold out. They sold every single ticket they had. So the movie was a box office hit. So it's a really nice expression for you to know. Okay? To retire, to stop working, often due to age or health problems. Okay, so I don't know where you are from, but depending on the country you live, people retire at 60 or 65 or even 70. I don't know. But this means that the person doesn't work anymore because maybe he or she is too old, or maybe because he or she have some sort of health problem. Okay? To turn something down. To reject or to refuse an offer or an invitation. So let's think about this situation. Imagine you invite me to go to a party with you, but I already have plans. Then I can't go to a party with you, okay? And I say, oh, I'm so sorry, but I can't do it. I already have plans. I need to turn down your invitation. So I need to say no to your invitation because of that. Okay, maybe next time. Okay, and of course, this lesson is not focused on that, but I've just remembered a really nice expression you can use in this context. When you turn down an invitation, or mostly invitations, you say, can I take a rain check? Can I take a rain check? Can I take a rain check means, okay, I can't do it today, but maybe in the near future. I'm interested in doing it. So please invite me again. I'll do it again. Can I take a rain check? Rain check. All right, rain check is something actually kind of literal because in the past, when there were baseball games and if people had to go home because it started raining, the people who organized the baseball games had to cancel the game because of the rain. And then they would literally give people a voucher. And on the voucher, it said rain check, meaning I'm not giving you your money back, but you can come back to the stadium and watch another game someday, okay, in the near future. So it's like a second chance for you to see an event. And when people say, hey, I can't do this, but I'll take a rain check, it means, okay, I can't do it today, but I'm interested in doing it with you. I'm not turning down your invitation because I don't want to do it with you. Okay? All right. So sorry, I kind of changed the subject here, but I thought this is an amazing expression and yeah, I had to talk about it. Okay. Hit, as I said, it's something that is considered to be a success. Okay, so let's take a look at the text again to make sure you understand everything. Listen, one of his favorite movie stars will be starring in an upcoming film about the Vietnam War. It's based on a true story, and they're shooting the film on site in Vietnam. This particular actor had been talking about retiring, but when he was offered the leading role in a film that's sure to be a box office hit, he couldn't turn it down. All right, I hope you understood that now. All right, let's move on to the next section of our text. Okay, to be engrossed in something. So if you are reading a book and you say, I am engrossed in this book, I am really interested in it, I can't stop reading it. Okay, so it's a really nice adjective. To be engrossed, to be interested, really interested in something. A trilogy, three related works, like books or films, forming a single narrative. Like The Lord of the Rings, for example. I am not a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings, but from what I heard, it's a trilogy, right? And all three works need to connect. All three films need to connect. Sorry about that. I said correct. Connect. I'm correcting myself now. Okay. Let me see. Main character, the most important person in the book. Okay. On the other hand, from a different point of view. For example, on the other hand, like now talking about me from a different point of view. Okay, let's see, to turn out. This phrasal verb is a little bit difficult to use for some people. So it means to result or end up in a particular way. So when you use turn out, you have most of the time I'm talking about a different result from what I expected. For example, imagine if I'm planning a trip to the beach and then I expect to see the sun, of course, otherwise I wouldn't plan a trip to the beach. But then I arrive there and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to check the weather forecast. And look, it's raining. And then people ask me, after I come back home, hey, how was your trip? Oh, I was expecting to lie on the beach and bask in the sun, but it turns out so you see the result was different. It turns out it was raining. So I had to come back home. And I'm so upset because I really wanted to see the sun. All right? So it turns out it's like there was a change in the result of the event, something that I didn't expect normally. Okay? Yeah. It's a little bit difficult to use, I know. But if I were you, I would actually try to find more examples of how this phrasal verb is used. Okay? All right. Huge. Huge is like enormous, large. In size, quantity, or degree. To borrow, to temporarily take something from someone with the plan to give it back. So I'll give you an example. When I was a teenager, I used to read a lot of books, and some of my friends wanted to borrow my books. They said, hey, Natalia, can we read your book for like a week or so? We'll give it back to you. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, some people borrowed my books and they returned them to me, and some people didn't. I really didn't like that. Okay, but anyway, you can borrow books from people, from the library as well, and you're supposed to return these books to the library. Okay, let's see. I, on the other hand, prefer books. I am currently means right now, okay, currently engrossed in a book by Stieg Larsson. It's the final part of a trilogy, and I can't wait to see how things turn out, how things end, okay, the result of everything. For the main character, I already have a huge collection of books, and I also borrow books from the library. Okay, let's see this section here. One book I took out. Okay, I actually need to look at this, right? Let's see. The book deals with, and the topic. The book talks about. So to deal with, in this case, means to talk about. Controversial topic. Ideas or issues that provoke differing opinions or reactions. So controversial. There's room for argument sometimes, okay? An interesting and enjoyable read. So as you can see, the word read here is not a verb. Okay, so this may be a little confusing to some people, but it means that it's a piece of writing that gets your attention, okay, that captures the reader's attention and provides pleasure or entertainment. So if I say, oh, this is an interesting read, it means like you will like reading this. You should buy it or you should borrow it from the library. Okay. To return a book, to take the book back to the library. Okay, you could say return a book to a friend or to someone as well. It's because I'm focusing on the text here. To renew a book, to get an extension of the length of time I can keep the book. So if I'm reading a book I borrowed from the library, but I am like, I haven't had time to finish it, or maybe I want to read it again. I need to go to the library and make sure I ask them to let me keep the book for a few more days. Okay? So this means I need to renew the book. Okay? To take out is a phrasal verb that means to borrow in this context, because take out has many different meanings, but in this context it's the same as to borrow. Motherhood, in the state or experience of becoming a mother and taking care of a child. Okay, so motherhood is the condition of being a mother. So you are responsible for your child when you become a mother. Okay, so let's see. One book I borrowed last week deals with modern feminism, talks about feminism and motherhood. It's a bit of a controversial topic, but it's an interesting and enjoyable read. I am not sure I'll have time to finish it before I have to return the book to the library. Maybe I'll renew it for another week. Okay, I think this is not that hard, right? So let's see, and something important. We talk about the beginning and end of a book, story or film, not the start and finish. We do have the verbs to begin and the verbs to begin and end, and start and finish. But you don't say, I like the start of the movie. I like the beginning. I didn't like the end is the correct way. Not I didn't like the finish of the movie. Okay. All right, so be careful with that. The first and last parts of a story can also be called the opening and closing scenes in a movie, or the opening and closing chapters in a book. Okay, so a movie that comes to mind, I'm going to focus on the opening scene of The Lion King. It's a classic, I always watch The Lion King. Yes, I still watch The Lion King, guys. I've watched it 1,000 times. And I love the opening scene of because it shows the African sunrise. I love that. And also the closing scene of that movie. Remember the baboon, Rafiki, I think his name was. Yeah, so he lifted Simba up in the air like this to show Simba to all the animals there. And I love that scene. So the opening and closing scenes in that movie are very moving to me. I think that movie is a classic. And I cry every time I see Mufasa die to this day. So anyway, okay, so now we're going to talk about section number 3 of our lesson. We're going to focus on pronunciation. I'm not going to read the text again. I'm just going to focus on the words in yellow because they are the words that usually cause problems. So listen and repeat. Huge, huge. Movie trailer, movie trailer. Always, always. Listen, always. Even though it's written with the letter A, we say always. Movie theater, theater, movie theater. Loves, loves. Yeah, some people say lovies, lovies. Okay, it's loves. Analyze, analyze. Critics reviews, critics reviews. Nominated, nominated, nominated. Award, award. Starring, starring. Upcoming film, upcoming film. Vietnam War, Vietnam War. Shooting, shooting. Particular, particular. Retiring, retiring. Leading role, leading role. Hit, hit. Yeah, it's not hitchy, okay? Hit. Prefer, prefer. Currently, Currently, engrossed, engrossed. Yeah, engrossed. Trilogy, trilogy. Character, character. No, this one is character, character. Borrow, borrow. Library, library. Modern feminism, feminism. Motherhood. Listen, mother, mother, mother. The th sound actually can be pronounced like this. Mother, mother. Look at this one. I don't go mother, right? Mother. So you need to pay attention to that because some people don't know the difference between some words that are pronounced this way, and the ones that are pronounced this way. Okay? So the th phoneme has two different sounds. Okay? Controversial, controversial. Interesting, interesting. Actually, this word can be pronounced this way, interesting. I've heard both, interesting and interesting. I usually say interesting. Enjoyable read, enjoyable read. Sure, sure. Return, return. Renew, renew. Called, called. Most people say called. It's not correct, guys. It's called. Scenes, scenes. Chapters, chapters. Okay, so now that we've covered the meaning and form and also the pronunciation of this text, of the words of the text, I would like you to listen to, it could be like my video, you could listen to the beginning of the video or maybe the original MP3 file that comes with this lesson. If you are my private student, you have the MP3 file. So listen to the text and tell me, how much did you understand now? Okay, from on a scale from 0 to 100, and also the reading comprehension after talking about the meaning of all the words. Were you able to understand the text better? Hopefully, you were able to understand the text 100%. But if you didn't, it's okay. You can always keep studying. Okay, you can keep reviewing this lesson until you understand everything. And if you don't understand everything, you can talk to me and I will help you out. Okay? So let's move on to language in context and expansion. So this section is important because you always learn new vocabulary, but sometimes you don't really try to incorporate this vocabulary into context. So guys, it's no use learning vocabulary if you never use it again. Okay, so this is really important. And actually, I love showing you language in context and expanding the vocabulary. And you're like, wait a second, Natalia, you have just shown us so much vocabulary and you want us to expand it? Yes, always. Okay, always challenge yourself to do that. Because in the real world, when you talk to a native speaker, for instance, they will talk like this and there will be no subtitles for you, okay? And you need to know like basic, intermediate, advanced vocabulary. You need to know a little bit of everything because otherwise you will always feel insecure talking to people, okay? This is the reason why this course is so important. You need to learn a little bit of everything. So, are you ready for this section? Let's see. My sister, now we're going to talk about movies, okay? My sister is a huge fan of superhero movies. She never misses one. Superhero movies like Spider-Man, Batman, etc. Okay? So we watched the movie trailer yesterday and it looks so exciting that we decided to see the film this weekend. The movie will premiere in Los Angeles before its nationwide release. So what's nationwide? Nationwide means throughout the country, in the whole country. nationwide release. Release means to be shown to the public, to be public, okay? The studio plans to release the film in time for the holiday season. The new action movie is going to come out, to be released next Friday, and I can't wait to see it. The cinema or movie theater will screen the latest blockbuster tonight. Screen as a verb, to screen. Yes, to screen is to play, okay? On the screen, on the big screen. The cinema will screen the latest, the most recent. It's not late, guys. It's not last, it's the latest, the most recent blockbuster. You're probably thinking, blockbuster? Oh, when I was a child, if you are maybe in your 30s and 40s, you will know what I'm talking about. Blockbuster used to be a very famous video rental store. Okay, so the name was Blockbuster. But in this case, we're not talking about the movie, the video rental store. We're talking about successful movies. Successful movies are called box office hits or blockbusters. Okay, so why blockbuster? So a block, like cities usually have blocks. Okay, so blocks are sections of a street where there are buildings, right? And when a movie is a success, imagine something like this. The movie theater is located on a block, and the line of people waiting to buy a ticket is going around the block. Okay, so this is called a blockbuster because of that, because the movie is such a success that there are literally like people waiting in a line that goes around the block. So, and buster means destroy, okay? So something that destroys. So if you are trying to walk around the block and there's so many people there, you're like, oh my God, look at all these people. I wanna just like go home or go to work and there are all these people here. So yeah, blockbuster. I love this word. The cinema will screen the latest blockbuster tonight. We managed to get tickets to buy tickets for the opening night of the latest comedy film. After reading the film critics' reviews, I have higher expectations for the documentary. Okay, my favorite actress was nominated for an award because of her excellent performance in a drama movie. I always count down the days until the release of a new animated film. It's interesting to analyze how special effects are used to enhance is like improve, okay? The storytelling in sci-fi movies. So the sci-fi, science fiction movies, sci-fi. Storytelling is basically the story, okay? The plot, the story of the movie. I guess, the new spy thriller will be a huge success, big success. Spy is a person who watches people in secret, okay? And thriller is a word that means suspense, okay? There's a lot of suspense involved. Movie stars often attend glamorous events and film premieres. So attend means to go somewhere, okay? Film premieres, like the night when a movie is played for the first time, but usually for a very exclusive audience. And then they release it to the rest of the people. Leonardo DiCaprio is starring in a film that is set to be released next month. So set to means to be scheduled. Okay, it's scheduled to be released. The upcoming film about ancient Rome has sparkled a lot of interest. It has got people's attention, got people interested among history buffs. Buff is a word used to talk about people who are enthusiastic about something. The drama was based on a true story, which made it even more compelling. Compelling is like, oh, I really want to see this now. I'm interested. I'm really eager, anxious to see something. They are shooting the film on site in New Zealand to capture its stunning landscape, to capture it's stunning, it's like incredible, beautiful landscape. Landscape is everything you see around you, trees and rivers and whatever. The leading role, the most important part in the movie, was given to an actor known for his versatile. It depends on for example, versatile is British English. Versatile is American English. Acting skills. So this person knows a lot about acting. Skills means abilities. The rom-com turned out to be a box office hit, grossing over $200 million worldwide. Wow, rom-com, romantic comedy. The romantic comedy turned out like, wow, remember I told you about turnouts, like we didn't expect this to happen. The result was completely different from what we imagined. The rom-com turned out to be a success, a huge box office hit, a blockbuster, earning over $200 million worldwide, okay, in the worldwide. The director decided to retire after finishing his latest masterpiece. Masterpiece is something that is artistically incredible, outstanding. For example, Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is a masterpiece. Everybody knows what Mona Lisa is. And hopefully, I don't know, some people don't know. Who painted it, right? Da Vinci painted Mona Lisa. So it's a masterpiece. Okay. He had to turn down the role. He had to say no, not accept the offer to be the main character in a horror movie because of scheduling conflicts. What's that? So imagine the situation. You are an actor and you are already you're already starring in a movie. You're acting, and you have a very important role. You have the leading role, and then you are invited to work in another movie. So you don't have time for that. So your schedule doesn't allow you to do that, and then you can say you're having scheduling conflicts. Okay. The production crew, the production team, everybody involved in the production of a movie, the director, the cameraman, etc. The production crew decided to shoot the movie on site to capture the authenticity of the location, scenery, and atmosphere. The iconic film Jurassic Park was directed by Steven Spielberg. Okay, the plot twist, so twist means change, kept me on the edge of my seat. Okay, so this is cool. The edge, I need to move the camera here a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but the edge, okay, let me show you this. This is the edge of the bookcase. So if a movie keeps me on the edge of my seat, I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Okay, I think that guy is gonna kill the other guy. So I'm constantly like anxious to see what's next. Okay, so that's a movie that keeps me on the edge of my seat, or on the edge. You can say on the edge. It's a good one. All right, so let's focus on books now. Yeah, this lesson will be long, guys, but as I told you, it will be totally worth it. Okay, so books. I'm currently engrossed in a mystery novel that I can't put down. So if you're reading a book and you can't put it down, it means that you can't stop reading it. Okay? The trilogy by J.K. Rowling is one of my all-time favorites. It's like there's nothing I can compare it to. No way. The main character in the novel faces many challenges on his journey to find the truth. Some people enjoy the escapism of fiction. Escapism, like you escape reality. You know, do you like this? Do you like to escape reality? This is called escapism, okay, of fiction. But on the other hand, some people prefer non-fiction fiction because they find real events more intriguing. I actually prefer movies that are based on true stories. But some people prefer fiction. It's okay, you know? So my friend has a huge collection of fantasy novels in her library. I often borrow books from the public library to discover new authors. The book discusses a controversial topic, but it's written in a thoughtful, so people think a lot about it before they discuss or write something, okay? And insightful way. Insightful means that they really they give their opinions. They talk about like deep things, okay? Insightful. The biography is an interesting and enjoyable read. I learned a lot about the author's life. I need to return the book to the library before the due date. Due date is the last day you can do something or pay for something. For example, oh, my electric bill is due tomorrow. The due date, the last day to do something. To avoid late fees. So a fee is a little bit of money that you need to pay for something. Okay? So if you don't return the book on the same day, on the right day, by the due date, you need to pay some money to the library. You need to pay a late fee. I decided to renew the book for another 2 weeks because I haven't finished reading it yet. Last week, I took out a novel about medieval history that looks fascinating. The novel explores the theme is topic, of motherhood in the 21st century, highlighting various challenges and joys. So highlighting is like focusing on the most important parts. The intricate storyline of the novel kept me guessing until the end, which made it very exciting. Intricate means very detailed, okay? Shakespeare's plays are timeless masterpieces that still attract audiences globally. So Shakespeare plays, okay, the plays, they are actually books, but people refer to them as plays. Timeless means it doesn't matter when you read it. Maybe 100 years ago, 50 years ago, now, maybe in 200 years, the stories will be pretty much the same. People will have the same emotion, experience the same emotions we do nowadays because the stories are timeless, okay? My English teacher suggested a gripping mystery novel, gripping is like that catches your attention, that she believes I will find enjoyable. Immersing myself in historical fiction allows me to experience various time periods and cultures. The library has a vast collection of self-help books. I'm interested in reading self-help, so books that are supposed to help you grow somehow, spiritually, academically, personally, etc. Poetry isn't my cup of tea. So poetry, poems, isn't my cup of tea is an expression that means this is not for me. Poetry is not for me. Poetry is not my cup of tea. The author's lyrical writing, lyrical is something that brings a lot of emotions, okay? The way that a person describes something can make you feel all kinds of emotions. The author's lyrical writing vividly portrayed the countryside in my imagination. So this guy was so good at describing something that the person could actually close his or her eyes and see, what he was talking about. Let me see. Autobiographies provide first-hand accounts of individuals' lives written by the subjects themselves. Autobiography, talking about my life, okay? First-hand account, this is really interesting because we have the expressions first-hand and second-hand accounts. First-hand account. This means that the person actually experienced something and the person is telling others about that experience. And the writer usually uses pronouns like I did, we did, rather than he, she, or they. So if somebody tells a story that actually happened to other people instead of themselves, then you can say that they are providing second-hand accounts of an event. Okay, so they didn't personally experience those things. I discovered an interesting thriller novel while browsing the bookstore and couldn't wait to start reading it. Okay, browsing means to look for. Okay, the quiet atmosphere of the library provides an ideal setting, an ideal place for me to immerse myself in a good book. The unexpected twists and turns in the novel, like all the changes, okay, in the story, the twists and turns in the novel kept me eagerly turning the pages. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Okay, so because many things happen in the story that I was not expecting in this case, okay? And the last one, exploring different perspectives through fiction helps me understand the complexities of emotions, relationships, and cultures. Okay, so these last two sections, this last section, as you can see, offers a lot of vocabulary, and this is for advanced students. Okay, so if you are an intermediate student and you're here watching this and you're like, oh my god, do I need to know all this? It would be good if you could learn more about these words, but don't worry. You're going to learn these things over time. Okay? So, and now let's move on to the last section of the lesson. So this section, I'm just going to read everything because if you are my private student, you're going to join one of my classes and we're going to practice these questions together. Okay? So that's why I have this section. So listen, movies and books, conversation, movies. What's your favorite movie genre? Who is your favorite actor or actress? Why do you think superhero movies are so popular? Which movie trailer, sorry guys, which movie trailer recently excited you most? What upcoming movie can you not wait to see? Have you been to a movie's opening night? How was it? Do film critics' reviews influence your movie choices? Have you ever cheered for an actor nominated for an award? Which new animated film are you eagerly waiting to come out? How do special effects enhance sci-fi movies for you? What makes a spy thriller successful in your view, in your opinion? Do movie stars' appearances at events matter to you? Are they important to you? How does a particular actor or actress's presence affect a movie appeal? How do they attract people? What kind of storylines draw you to watching films? Does a true story basis make a drama more compelling, more attractive? What's your take on? Take on is like, what's your opinion? What's your take on movies filmed on site? Why do you think some rom-coms become box office hits? Should directors retire at the peak of their career? Okay, and the questions about books. Have you ever got hooked on a mystery novel? Got like engrossed in, got interested in? What grabbed you? What kept you reading that book? What makes a trilogy unforgettable to you? Which novel's main character's journey struck you the most? Struck is like impressed. Which one impressed you? Which one struck you the most? Fiction or nonfiction? Which captivates you more and why? Captivate, get your attention. Which gets your attention? Do you know someone who has a huge book collection? Who is your favorite book author? What are your views on books talking about? What are your views on books addressing controversial topics? Can you talk about a biography that particularly fascinated you? Have you ever missed a library book return deadline? Like you forgot to return the book? Have you ever forgotten to return a book? What leads you? What causes you? What leads you to renew a library book? Have you ever got absorbed in a novel? What was it about? Have you ever got absorbed in? Have you ever got engrossed in a novel? Is the topic of motherhood explored in any form of writing nowadays? Is it important at all? Okay, so this was a lot, I know. But here's the thing. Now that we've talked about all these things, do you think your comprehension, your general comprehension improved? Okay, even if you didn't understand the extra words, okay, don't worry so much about the expansion part of the lesson, but the main words from the text, did you understand everything or not? Tell me. And this section for the advanced students, have you expanded your vocabulary with this lesson? Do you feel like you learned new words? Yes or no? Because this is very important for me to know, okay? All right, guys, don't kill me. I know that this video is super long, and I do have something else for people who are getting ready for proficiency tests, but obviously I'm not going to talk about this. I just wanted to show you here on the screen what I did. Okay, so I organized, I'm gonna actually read here on my clipboard. Okay, so I organized a lot of different vocabulary about genres, types of movies, film production, vocabulary, casting, movie performance and reception, movie development and release, and also a lot of adjectives to describe movies. Okay, so as you can see, I spent a lot of time organizing vocabulary to be written here on this document. It's a lot of work for me, but I want to make sure that you have the best material out there, okay? Because some people watch 5, 10, 20 videos, all short videos that don't really offer the vocabulary that you need for a proficiency test. And I want you to come to one video and say, I know Natalia has this material. And if you want to have a copy of this last section of the lesson, please contact me and I will be happy to give it to you. I'm talking about the IELTS test, okay, portion, not the whole document. But okay, I would like to also tell you that the first page of this lesson, the main story came from Espresso English, okay? The course is called 1000 English Collocations. And all the other pages between pages 2 and 21 were, everything else was written by me, okay? I just wanted to let you know about that because I don't want you to think that I copied this from somewhere else, from someone else, because I do think about you and I am very, very interested in making sure you get the best material you can, okay? So that's it, guys. I will say bye for now. Thank you very much for watching the video, and if you have any questions, please let me know. See you next lesson. Bye bye. Take care.